Welcome to the Arrowhead Spotlight. Brooke Montgomery is here today to talk about Pivotal Biotech.
My business is Pivotal Biotech, and I've developed a couple medical devices. The first device I started here at Studio G in 2014, and that filtered water out of high-flow therapy oxygen machines that are used primarily in ICU hospital settings. And these machines basically just accumulate a lot of water, and that goes into the patient. And so it takes that most of that water out. The second medical device I developed after I did the Aggie iCore, and that one, it allows for nebulized medication to be delivered through the water trap adapter. So what inspired me with my first medical device was that I had a family member in the hospital. At that time, I was a student studying biology, genetics, and biotechnology. At that time, there was this connection with the actual hospital setting because of my family member being in the hospital, who happened to be on a high-flow therapy respiratory device it was condensating, so it was accumulating water, and it was flushing up his nose at a high pressure rate, and it was causing him to be very uncomfortable, and he had pneumonia. So I asked the doctors at the hospital if the water going into him would cause aspiration. I was concerned about his pneumonia, and they said there really was no other solution and just to keep a napkin nearby. Being concerned about the safety of it, after he got better and was released from the hospital, I started researching if there were any FDA complaints, and there were FDA events following this device due to the water, which we call rain out, going into the patient. I actually thought when I was sitting by him about how I was unplugging I probably wouldn't do this. You probably shouldn't do this, but I was unplugging the circuit and dumping the water out so that it wouldn't go up his nose anymore. And I thought, well, why not just add a filter to this and filter it out of the device?
Can you share a brief timeline of your entrepreneurial journey?
In January of 2014, I submitted my application to be a member of Studio G. I was a student at New Mexico State University here, at which point I started working on my initial prototype. I had a team of engineers that I was working with originally. And about 9 months after that, I submitted my first provisional patent, which I had some help here with with some of their advisory lawyers. First, I did the Shark Tank, and that's when I converted my patent to a full utility patent. And then I did the Aggie iCore, which was really, really great because it got me into the hospital setting, and I got to meet doctors and validate my product in the market. From there, I did my second patent, kind of just got more information when I was actually in the hospitals on what would work best. And then I applied for the NMSBA, New Mexico Small Business Association grants, and I got my first one for $20,000. And we developed the prototype and optimized it for my second medical device. And then I got a $90,000 grant to test it at the Los Alamos National Labs. And now I'm working on my third year, a $70,000 grant to finish up testing of the second device so that I can FDA approve it and commercialize it.
What is one of the most valuable lessons you've learned as an entrepreneur?
Not to give up. Sometimes there's a lot of government regulations and you think, well, you need to have a lot of money, but don't give up. Go out there. There's money out there. There's assistance for small businesses, and just keep pushing through.
How has the Arrowhead Center helped you?
They pretty much helped me along the way with everything, starting with making my first prototype and learning about patents and protecting my idea. We also started with actually the business canvas model. At first, I wasn't really looking at everything as a business. I was trying to solve a problem in the hospital setting. And then I realized that I knew I wanted to sell it. I just really wanted to get the device out to patients to help them. And then I realized that there was a lot of problems when I did the Aggie iCore grant, that there's a lot of devices that could help patients. And that's when I realized more about the business aspect of being an inventor and making the medical devices. And they helped me with money because it really would be almost impossible to do this without a laboratory and the grants that are provided. And so they connected me with the NMSBA to be able to FDA test the device. So just avenues of creating and testing my device and learning about businesses.
To learn more about Studio G, visit arrowheadcenter.nmsu.edu/Studio G. And you can learn about all of the programs Arrowhead has to offer at arrowheadcenter.nmsu.edu.